What does it mean to be on mission for your family? And what does it mean to have a mission statement in your home when you're trying to build a biblical foundation in your home based on the Word of God? How do you do that? And what are the steps that we need to do in order to build that foundation with a mission? Stay tuned.
You don't want to miss it. You're listening to Marriage Mania, where we are audacious, sagacious, and tenacious for the Lord to uphold godly marriages and to raise fervent children who are countercultural and stand for biblical truth.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Michael.
And today we want to be on mission. What does that mean? And how do you do that in your family? How are you on mission for your family? And based off the last podcast that we talked about the biblical foundations and how you set that up in your family and what does that actually mean. But in this podcast, we're going to talk about being on mission as a family because we've established a biblical foundation. But before we get started, please subscribe here. It helps us to get the message out to as many families as possible. We want to reach people for Jesus Christ. And also we want to share, we have Bible studies out on marriagemaniaministry.com talking about marriage and just building a great foundation between a husband and a wife. We have the covering. Are you my covering? Mm-hmm. The covering of the biblical husband. And we also have the helper, the role of a biblical wife. And these two Bible studies have been amazing. We've heard so many testimonies on social media platform from all over. I love that we recently had someone from Iceland reach out and get these studies. And that is super exciting. I mean, it's really exciting to have the Bible studies out there. So it's really cool. But you can get those on Amazon, or if you want to get them on digital, you can get them on marriagemaniaministry.com. And also we have a conflict manual where we talk about disagreements and communications. Michael, do I communicate well?
What?
Okay, so obviously I do not communicate well because he had to ask me what. So are you listening to me?
Huh?
Okay, we created the conflict manual where we talk about the biblical approach to communication and disagreements because we all have them. And I love that we just had this recent conference and you said, what were your words that you said on stage?
If you have mania in your marriage, conflict, arguments in your marriage, then this class is for you. If you don't have mania, conflict, or arguments in your marriage, then you're lying.
Well, so check it out. We've got the conflict manual. If you want to check out, there's different conflict techniques, which I think there is conflict resolution techniques. I think you said there was about 50, and there's different communication styles. So you can check that out at marriagemaniaministry.com. All right. So getting back to the topic, we are talking today about being on mission for our family. And how do we do that? How are we to be on mission? We talk about being on mission, going out and being missionaries everywhere. But the most important relationships we have is at home, is with our spouse and our children. First with the Lord, but second and first on earth is with our spouse. And so we want to be on mission together. We want to have a purpose together to be able to move forward as a family. And so, Michael, let's talk a little bit about being on mission because we've already set the foundation of just a quick overview of how do we build the foundation in our family. And now we want to talk about being on mission.
Yes, it's so important that we as a couple and as a family are on mission for the Lord. And we define that mission by writing down our mission statement. God put us here for a special reason in this time in history, in the location he put us in, to impact the world around us for his kingdom work, to spread the gospel and to create disciples of Jesus Christ, to follow his ways. And he didn't design us to do this alone. He sent out his disciples 2 by 2. He established the church, and he puts the solitary in families. He designed us to marry another strong believer, to be on mission together, to raise a godly family that follows his ways, and to be on mission together as a family to impact the world around us. He established the institution of the church and the family to be on mission together. And the church is made up of families and can only be as strong as the strength of its individual families. Churches have particular missions, and individual families should too. So we like to challenge families to be on mission and to
Mm-hmm.
define what that mission is. Have a mission statement that guides everything your family
Mm-hmm.
does. And I would argue that you have a mission statement
Yeah.
that guides you, and you will only know what it is if you put it in writing. For some,
Mm-hmm.
it's to be vice president in 5 years, which is not a bad mission, but that's their overall goal in life.
Mm-hmm.
For others, it might be to enjoy life and to experience the world. That's their overall mission.
Yeah, I love that. And I think, setting a mission statement, and I know we did ours, and you can find that on the course. So that gives you a great example on how to set up that mission. And I love that because we have to be on mission, right? We all have a purpose. I know before we got married, my mission was to climb the corporate ladder. I worked in corporate for 30 years and I was like, I'm going to be a president in this organization and I'm going to do whatever I can, education, go to school, do all these things to get it done. But the Lord got me. I married you and we ended up having a child and my complete mission changed. And it was all about Jesus and what can we do to make this family work in a way that it just glorifies and has just fragrance for the Lord. And so that, I think that there's times in life that your mission does change, but our purpose for the Lord should never change. And we should always be on mission to spread the gospel. Like it says in Matthew 28, to go out to the world and to the regions of the world and spread the gospel. That is our goal. That's a command that the Lord gives us. And so we need to do that here through discipleship, right? We disciple each other. We disciple our children. And so we want to be able to do that.
Yes, I mean, everything we do is steered by our mission statement. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, God gives us a mission, which is the Great Commission to go
Yeah.
spread the gospel. And we all have our own part in that mission, and
Mm-hmm.
we have an individual part. So we should have a specialized mission statement as to what
Mm-hmm.
our part is as a family, and we should define what that is. And everything that we do is guided by that. Does what we do make our marriage healthier and stronger,
Mm-hmm.
makes us more passionate Jesus followers, helps us disciple our child to be a passionate Jesus follower? Does it help us be better models of God's kingdom for
Mm-hmm.
her? Does what we choose for her to do help her be stronger and healthier and be more of a passionate Jesus follower? If not, we don't do it. If it does,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll do it. For example, we homeschool our child. Why? Because we feel for us that that's the best option for creating a passionate, healthy Jesus follower.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission statement guides what movies we see, what friends we hang around,
Mm-hmm.
what we allow ourselves to see and hear and be influenced by.
Mm-hmm.
Or, if I'm saying some mean things to my spouse, is that working toward a strong and healthy family of passionate Jesus followers? If my marriage is unhealthy, our mission statement might focus me to realize our present condition is far off our mission statement to be strong and healthy couple, and to do things that might bring us in line with our mission statement to be healthy, like seeking godly counsel, reading a good Christian marriage book, or going to a marriage conference or two. These are steps in the right
Mm-hmm.
direction, and our
Yeah.
mission statement might show us what we need to cut out and stop doing that's inconsistent with our mission statement, like spending too much time away from my family, speaking unkind words, giving a cold shoulder, not warmly greeting my spouse hello or goodbye, not thanking them for things that they do for me every day. My mission statement might focus us to do things we don't even really want to do right now, but we do them because it's consistent with our mission statement. And we're going to trust that this one step is going to get us just that much closer to where we want to be, one step closer to fulfilling our mission statement.
That's so good. And that's exactly what we should be doing in our families. We should really be those change makers for Christ and continuing to press forward in a mission. And so I challenge you to create a mission for your family because that is so important to set that foundation. If you want to know more about this course, we have it available at marriagemaniaministry.com. And in this course, we talk about the biblical foundations of marriage. And it all starts with, what is the foundation? What are you on mission for? What are your biblical priorities? What is the purpose of marriage? Our parenting, biblical roles, and leaving a godly legacy. These are all critical things that we need to know and understand for building a strong biblical foundation in our home. And it's really heart work, It really is to be intentional. I know we talked about that in the previous podcast. It's about the intent of the heart. And if we are intentional to move forward, then we're going to be successful and consistent to pursue the Lord and be on mission for Him. So check out that course at marriagemaniaministry.com. It is impactful. And we have had so many testimonies around that course. And so check that out. It's available. You can get that on our website. And so if you want to learn more about what the biblical priorities are, check out this next video.